So I've had this Trevolo speaker for about a week now, and I've been using it on a day-to-day basis, pretty much on all the things you can think about, like on my phone, on other devices. I've been doing a lot of listening and all that stuff, and really putting it to the test. And I do have to admit that this speaker is very much interesting. For those of you who are wondering what this blue box, it's a virtual assistant smart speaker, and it has a couple of features that I think are really worth pointing out. I'm gonna get into them into this video. We're actually gonna be taking a closer look at this speaker here. This is the box that it comes in. It's called the BenQ Trevolo U speaker. Now it is a Bluetooth speaker and it's a smart assistant speaker. It has a built-in voice assistant inside, and I will get into the details and the feature of this product today, as I think it is an interesting product. Before we get into that, I do want to give a huge shout out to BenQ for sponsoring this video. BenQ is a world-renowned tech company. They offer a wide variety of products such as monitors, speakers, tech, accessories, gaming monitors, and a lot more. If ever you are interested to find out more about BenQ, you can click the link I've left in the description down below for more information. They have so many products and have such great prices. They are a company that is based in Taiwan, but they do ship worldwide, so fear not. If ever you are interested in some of these products that you find, you will be able to get them for yourselves. Once again, thank you BenQ for sponsoring this video. Back to the video. So BenQ was nice enough to send over this speaker, and I think it's an interesting one. Really quickly before we get into any more details, in the box you will find some very simple stuff. You'll find a guide manual, which actually is important because this shows you how to use all the features to the speaker, which I will be getting into. It also contains a USB 3.0 to USB-C charger with a dedicated power brick, which is convenient. I have not taken the tape out yet because I've been using another charger to charge the speaker. Another thing you get inside of the box is this auxiliary cable, which is very, very unique. I'm so not used to seeing auxiliary cables anymore. No phones have auxiliary jacks anymore. So that being said, getting into the design of this actual speaker, one thing that definitely sticks out as soon as you get this product out of the box is its unique shape. It has a different design. It's not your typical classic speaker. It definitely has something that's unique. It definitely has something that's kind of eye-catching. Maybe for some people it would be appealing, maybe for some people it wouldn't be. I just think it has this really convenient design. So when you put it down, it just, obviously it's been built in a way for it to be convenient and sit, but it has this really ergonomic design that just, I know I look kind of stupid right now as I put it down, but it just seems to work. I like it. It also is directed towards the users. So whenever you're listening to the speaker, you'll have an augmented listening as the speaker is oriented towards you slightly. It probably has an inclination for about like 10 to 15 degrees. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too significant, but it does add a bit of value for anyone using it. I haven't really noticed huge benefits from the inclination, but I've got to be honest, the audio has been really crisp and sharp for the most part. So furthermore, on the actual build quality of the speaker, it does feel a little heavy. It has some good heft to it. It's not one of those flimsy speaker, but again, it's worth pointing out that it's not a small speaker. It's a relatively more compact speaker, but it's not one of those really small speakers where, you have those speakers like JBL, there's like a ball or just like a little square that you can put in your pocket or you can clip onto your backpack. It's not in the same category. It's a little bit bigger than that. On the aspect of build quality, it's built with this nice grill here in the front that it is this light blue color. It's kind of this metallic light blue. I think it's kind of cool. It's interesting. It's definitely different. And it has this nice matte white finish on the outside. So for the majority of the body. Also, you'll find this really nice rubberized kind of grip gum on the bottom that holds really well. I don't think you'll have any issues in terms of like the speaker kind of falling off or not being stable on more surfaces, as it does have a really nice wide sturdy base. Other than that, you won't find much other than small BenQ branding at the very back of the speaker, and you'll find this little hatchet right here. If you open it up, it has obviously your port, so you can charge it via USB-C as I mentioned earlier, and you have your auxiliary cord if ever you want to plug it to a device that has an auxiliary jack. Go ahead and do so. On the top of the speaker, you'll find all of the features that you might need. So you're going to find your power button, and it has light indicators. Most of these buttons do have light indicators, which I think is fantastic, super simple, convenient. So if you start from the right hand side going down to the left hand side, you have your power button. How do you activate the speaker? You hold the power button for roughly 3 seconds, I think, until the lights start to flicker. Once the lights are on, it'll indicate to you that the speaker is turned on. You see you have 3 dots over the power button. Dot 1 means you're low battery. Dot 2 means you're halfway through the battery. Dot 3, if all the 3 dots are lit up, you will know that your speaker is pretty much on full charge. Now next to that, you have a Bluetooth pairing button. self-explanatory. It is a Bluetooth speaker. You need to connect it to your devices somehow. I think for the most part, you will not really run into any Bluetooth issues. I think this is one of the things that they've pretty much nailed with this product. I think it's really good. It's simple, yet efficient. It works. It just works. Whenever I try to connect my phone, super simple. I hold the button. It finds on my phone, connect, plug, and play. It's pretty much just plug and play, except there's no actual wire. It's made wirelessly, but you get the point. Next to the Bluetooth button, you'll find your volume rocker. So obviously you have volume up and volume down. Pretty self-explanatory. You can control them on the speaker. You can also control them on your device. So for example, if you have it compared to your iPhone or your Samsung or whatever phone you may be using, you'll be able to use it on your phone. It'll pretty much adjust the volumes here and there. Now, this next part is actually interesting. The next two buttons on the speaker are the special features of the product. You'll see there's a button here with this kind of like wave pattern like. This is a safe mode volume button. If ever you are in a situation where maybe you're listening to music and it's kind of too loud, or maybe you're having a conference call, and I'll get into why I'm mentioning conference call, but if you're ever listening to whatever you may be listening to on the speaker and it's too loud, you can always press that button and it'll kind of reduce the sound to like 50%, and it'll make it very... It's kind of like a shortcut button where you may be listening to music or jamming out, you press the button, it kind of drops down to 50%. It's kind of like a little bit in the background, so you can hear if ever somebody's walking into your room or you're in an office or whatever and someone wants to talk to you, you just press the button really quickly, drops down to like 50%, or you can customize it however you like. But that is a pretty nice feature that I think this speaker provides, and it's very convenient for most people. And last but not least, this is actually one of the most important buttons for the speaker. This is your voice assistant, and it also works as a sound mode button. So essentially, sound modes, this is one of the particular features of the speaker. How do they work? What comes with the sound modes? You'll notice that you have 3 specific sound modes. So the first sound mode is obviously pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of like the default. It's called music. For this one, you'll be able to listen to jams, music, podcasts, and all that stuff. Now, if you want to get to the next sound mode, which is video learning, you have to press the button once. It'll activate video learning, and once you're in video learning, essentially what video learning is it provides the best vocal quality for online learning. And what I think is really interesting about the speaker is that it has these different modes, and this specific video learning mode is going to be very convenient for a lot of, I think, younger students. I think it's going to be very convenient for a lot of people who are going to be in restricted area. So maybe for example, if you're going to be studying from home, or maybe you're going to be working from home and you're on a conference call, or I don't know, there's so many scenarios you could think of. If you activate that if your speaker's connected to, for example, your work PC, and you activate video learning, you'll be able to really benefit from the actual feature as it enhances the vocals. So this is on the default mode. Now if I'm going to press, you see here, I'm going to press the video learning.
Listen again to my introduction. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you.
I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it definitely sounds a lot better.
Lucia. Mucho gusto. The first word...
Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go back now, and we're going to listen that again in the regular mode.
Spanish.
So this is regular mode.
At how easy it is. Are you ready? Listen again to my introduction. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucy.
And I'm going to put it back, and I'm going to put it on video mode. On video learning.
In Spanish. You will be surprised at how easy it is. Are you ready? Listen again to my introduction. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you. Oh.
So you see, guys, for the most part, it's not a huge difference, but it definitely does have that element of clarity. Definitely provides better vocals for the most part. I know I'm behind the camera, you can't see me, but the whole point was for me to show you guys this video learning. Obviously, if you put it in live, it's not gonna sound the best.
Hola, soy Lucia.
It really sounds like one of those robots, so it's not that good. But obviously, live learning is beneficial in other scenarios. Now, if you press the button one more time, you'll activate the last mode, which is called live learning. And live learning is kind of similar to video learning. So live learning is kind of similar to video learning in a couple of ways, but it has its own differences in terms where a lot of times you notice that, for example, if you're on a conference call through Teams or to Google Meets, you'll notice that people don't have dedicated microphones. They're just going to use the microphone that's built into the laptop, or a lot of times in their phones. And you notice how these microphones don't sound really good. A lot of times they sound really muffled. So the live learning mode actually enhances that specific audio input that that person is using, and it's making it more clear, and you can hear it much better. So for a lot of times you'll hear people talking and it's gonna sound like really muffled, they're gonna be far away and all of that stuff. This speaker kind of solves that problem and meets you halfway. This is a great step forward from BenQ. I think it's awesome. Also, live learning is another very functional feature, as I think so many people now have remote jobs. There's been also that whole crisis with the pandemic where people were having school remote. I think this speaker would have been great back then. Now I have been talking about the premium features of the speaker, but you may have noticed that on the front here, there's kind of like this pill shape with a sensor and it's kind of like this gray disc. Actually, this isn't just a pill, this shape designed just for aesthetic purposes. It actually has a purpose. As you can see here, that little black hole is a sensor. So whenever you are further away from the speaker, it'll detect that you are further away from it. And it also acts as a detector and a sensor for the actual voice assistant. As I mentioned earlier, the speaker not only has these nice features where it has the video learning, live learning, it also acts as a virtual smart speaker. So you can interact with it, you can talk to it. It has a built-in voice in it, which is actually kind of funny. It is a lady, and I think it's called, if I'm not mistaken, the name of the voice assistant in the speaker is called Trevolo. If you interact with it, you can ask him questions. Obviously, it's not on par with like Alexa or OK Google or Siri, all that stuff. It's not the same thing. It's very simplistic in its design. It only does a couple of features here and there. Now, obviously, that's not the main focus. It's not supposed to be a virtual assistant speaker up front. It's more supposed to be a learning and high efficiency vocal speaker, and I think that part they've covered really well. They also have this little feature if ever you're curious. Obviously, the features are pretty limited. You can ask her to raise the volume, lower the volume, stop the music, play the next song, or switch modes. Very similar. Obviously, you're not going to be able to ask her, hey, can you cook me some eggs? It probably won't do that. Actually, it won't do that for sure, but it's kind of nice to know that we have this kind of like virtual assistant inside that can help you. Battery life on this is actually fantastic. It's pretty good. It's been lasting me. I've only had to charge it once in the last week, but I definitely do think that the highlight of the speaker is the video learning. Super interesting. I'm not entirely sure how they've managed to create this technology, but I gotta say, I love it. It works. It's compact. It's a nice speaker. If ever you guys are interested in the speaker, I'll obviously have a link in the description down below where you guys can pick it up. Now, I really want to know what you guys think about the speaker. What do you think of the design, the colorway, all of the features that it comes with? Let me know in the comment section down below. You guys know that's the best way for us to interact. Let's get a conversation started in there. And as always, I wish you the best of luck in everything you do. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Deuces.